welcome back. So my name is Gaurav Jodia, aka Engineer YouTuber. So this is my LinkedIn page, and you can follow me on this ID. And this is my YouTube channel. So where I started one new playlist, जो कि है interview experience and question answer related to that. So लास्ट वीडियो में हमने देखा कि एक मर्सिडीज बेंज का डेटा एनालिसिस का जो इंटरव्यू था, वो कैसे इंटरव्यू मैंने फेस किया एंड हाउ इट वेंट. तो बेसिकली आई हैव सॉल्व, उसमें मैंने जो क्वेश्चन आंसर पूछे गए थे, आई सॉल्व ऑल ऑफ देम, ट्राई टू सॉल्व ऑल ऑफ देम. ओके, तो that was my experience, but I am not able to express what they asked me and how you should prepare for that. So in this video I'm going to share my experience when I applied for Uber and I got shortlisted. So Uber का एक स्क्रीनिंग राउंड होता है, बेसिक स्क्रीनिंग राउंड. दे आस्क यू सेवरल क्वेश्चन एंड सो उसके बाद दे आस्क यू फॉर अ प्री फर्स्ट टेक्निकल राउंड. तो जो क्वेश्चन आंसर मुझे पूछे गए थे उबर के डेटा एनालिस्ट के फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू में, तो वो कुछ क्वेश्चन है जो कि मैं शेयर करना चाह रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. सो you may find it very similar to other interviews. So this is the questions. So those are the SQL questions which are asked in Uber data analysis interview. तो जो भी बैंक के जितने भी इंटरव्यूज होते हैं ना, मोस्टली उसमें SQL पे ज़्यादा पूछा जाता है. And the second thing is they ask you on Python, and after that they will ask you statistics. So if you are preparing for any data analyst job, you should go through the SQL questions, all SQL questions which is on lead code. Then you can follow my videos that I'm uploading, and you should do the Python code practice and statistics. So, and if you are preparing for a data scientist role, then you should prepare for machine learning. But basically जो भी companies है वो SQL पे पूछती है. They have a coding round, एक first interview round में जो coding round होता है ना, simply they'll ask you maybe 1 or 2 question on SQL and 2 question on Python. So basically you should prepare for everything. That's you should not got limited because of those questions. So first thing first, so write a SQL query to extract the third transaction from every user displaying user ID, spend and transaction. So basically मैंने एक dummy data set बनाया. So you can see this is a dummy data set I have prepared, and you can see for every user we need to get a third transaction, or third transaction. We need to get the third transaction. So I'll get a third transaction. So for the first user, this is the third transaction. You can see this third transaction I need to get. For a second, I need to get this one. For a third, this is the third transaction. So for every user, we need to get a third transaction from this data set. Or if you have a bigger data set, how could you get it? So you need to write a SQL query. So think about it. We cannot directly get that data from this table. The reason is we need to write one query which run, and after that we'll get. Means we need to write a sub query or a common table function, or a city common table functions. So yeah, we are going to use that, and I'm going to share how you should approach for this type of question. So first thing first, I have prepared some data set. Like there is a data set called store, and from data set store we have a transaction as uh, a table. So first thing first, what I'll do, I'll just say use database name. What is database name? Store. So I'll use the database store and I'll run this thing. So basically what I did, I have prepared already. Means ये data set है ना, मैंने dummy data set बना के रखा है, so that it will be very useful to explain you guys. So now I'll select all from what table name is transaction. So I'll just write transaction here, and you can see I'll get an entire data from this. So it says, I think it's transaction, not transaction. So I'll write that, and now we'll do. So you can see I'm having a ID, user ID, spend, and the transaction. So we need to get for every user a third row. So for that, what we need to do, we need to get the third row. So we have a function, and that is row number. So by using that, we can get our row number. We will first give the row number over there. So I have two approaches. I can use the inner query, and the second is with a continuous table function which I mentioned before. So yeah, we'll go with the inner query first approach. So I'll just write here hashtag first approach. wait. So transaction email city. I think to get that I have CTE. Sorry, city is that. City is nothing but a common table expression, and this is first. Uh, so I'll just write here approach. Okay, first approach with inner query. So inner query. So we'll use inner query for that. And now I'll try to explain you how I install that. So you need to write select. So we are reading the data, select. Then we have user ID. So you can see this is the user ID. After that, what I'll use, I have a spend over there, spend. Then what we have a transaction over there, transaction date. Okay. Now what we need to do, we need to write an inner query. So for that, I'll just write from, and after writing a from, I'll open a braces so that I can write a inner query in this set. So again, you can write select. Now we need a same thing, like we need user ID, spend, transaction, all of these in our here. Now the thing we need is a row number. So that row dot number is the function we are using, and after that over row number over in the braces partition over partition by partition by user ID and order by what? Order by spend or a transaction date. We will use a transaction date because we want that to be using a transaction date. And I'll just write it is in ascending. So that's why if it is in descending, you should be mentioning. If it is ascending, it is a default in ascending. So transaction as a txt rank, we say. And after that, from what? Transactions, right? Transactions. And after that, I'll just close that here. So yeah, but here okay. Now it is okay. Now I'll just write rank transaction, rank transaction. So we don't have anything. Let's say rank transaction, and where clause to get every third row. I'll explain what I have did here. Just wait for a while. So this is my it is not taking a by why? Because I have written a partition as well. Okay, partition by. Okay, now it works well. So it should be we should first run that. So we get everything. Yeah. So we get every third transaction from our dataset. So first I'll say this is the, so we should get 60, then we should get 50, then for third we should 25. So remember, not 25, so 35. So 70, 50. So let's run this. Do we get those 60, 40, 25? You can see, and we also getting a date for every user ID. So if I go and get, you can check here 60 for first one. For second one, this is 1, 2, 3. It should be a 50. Are we getting a 50 over? Let's take that. And for third one, 1, 2, 3. I think so. It is ranking somewhere, but it should be getting a rank as a third one. So it is by ascending order. So we are getting a right because it's not in the ascending order. So if I take it into ascending order, and for third, if I check, it is 25. Now if I check, so it is using in the ascending order. That's why we are getting those values. So yeah, it is a right approach, and that's the thing. So now we'll use it with second approach. So you can see here what I did is I have taken the user, I have created one This is the main thing I have written from a transaction. So what we are doing, we are taking those columns. We are running a row number over a partition by user ID. So order by transaction date. So it will be order into transaction date. That's why we are getting a 25. As you can see, it is an ascending order. So it will be ascending by using the date. So we have given the as txt rank. So this is from transaction. After a rank transaction, we have given that outer query as a transaction rank transaction, where we use the where clause, and from that rank we have given that rank where rank is equal to 3. We need only those query or those rows for our query. Now this is the first approach. Now we'll go for second approach. In the second approach, we use the continuous table. Uh, Continuous table. What I said. Continuous table expression. So yeah, with continuous table so not continuous, common table, common table expression. By using that, we'll solve this problem. So select, not with select, with. So last time what we did, we used the inner query. Now we'll do with this approach. So with rank transaction as, and now we'll write the query here. So in this thing, we are writing the same thing, like select. You can write with me also. In a select, we'll write user ID. Now the second thing is spend. Then we have third thing is a transaction or transaction date. And after that, we have a row number. Check now over. I'll do partition by what? Partition by what? Partition by user ID, and order by transaction date. So I'll write transaction date. It should be in the ascending order, so I'll not give anything. Again, I'll write txt.rank over there, and from transaction. Okay. Now I complete this loop, and I'll come out of that uh, uh, inner or query, and again I'll write select user ID. So you can use any of the approach, because both approaches work fine. I'll write spend. Now spend, after that we have a transaction date from rank transaction, and I'll write where clause where txt dot rank is equal to 3. So by using this approach, you can see I have solved my question. We'll run this and we see, do we get the same thing? Yeah, we are getting the same answer. So we have solved the problem. The first problem is solved. Now we'll go for a second problem, which we have. The second problem is calculate the average rating for each driver across a different city using a data from rider rides and rating table. So we have a 2 table over there, and we need to get the average rating for our rider. So you can see I have created one database called Zomato. I'm using use Zomato, and so now we enter into our Zomato. Now you can see I have a drivers, ratings, and ride. Those are the three tables I have. So if you want to check, you can just write select all as a star from driver. So if I run this query, so you can see in the drivers we have a driver's ID and their name. So you can check any of the things. Like I'll just copy and paste here to get a rating as a, and I'll run this. So I'll get the a ride ID, rating ID, riding ID, and rating, their rating. So those are the things in a every table have some meaningful information, and from that we need to get the average rating for every rider we have with city wise. We need to give the group on city wise. So you can if you see the question, you can understand we need to calculate the average rating. First, we need to calculate for each driver across the different cities. So what we want, a different city-wise data, and again, by using that data, we need an average rating for every city. Okay, so we'll go back to our console and we try to write select. So you can see from a driver, if I run this, I can go and check what are the columns I have, because I cannot remember every column. So you can see in here, and that we have a driver ID. So from a driver dot, you can give the initial only D also, but I'm writing a driver only, because driver uh, driver ID. So you can see this is what we have, and the name of driver D is capital, driver ID is also capital. So we have a driver ID. Now we'll take that. Now what we have, we need a also a riding data. So I'll just write here, so we can read any of the data rides. So now you can check data for. So yeah, here we have a data for rider also, and we need a city from a rider. So what I'll do, I'll just write rider rides dot, what we need a city. So I'll just write C is capital, we'll take that. Now we need to get the average rating. So if you run the rating column, you get that where we have a rating and all those things. So you can see here we are having a rating. So I'll just take a rating dot rating. So those are the columns we needed. But now you need to remember that this is the, we need an average over here. So I'll just write AVG to get an average value. You can see by using that I'm getting a average rating. Okay, now I come from driver. This is what we have done. It says some, so we are taking average rating from. Now what we do, we join that, because we need to join that, otherwise we'll not able to get, because we have a three tables, so that we need to join that to get information and everything on what we needed. Now riders rides on rides, what we have driver ID. Do we have a rider? In rider we have, let me check, yeah, we have a driver ID. So what we do, let's write that driver dot driver ID is equal to a rider rides dot driver ID, so that it will join on that database. Now we need to join one more table over here. So by a rating on, so for ride, what we have, ride dot ride ID equal to rating dot ride ID. So yeah, that's it. We join on the both of the table, rides and rating. Now we need to do the group by. So by doing the group by, we are get our desired output. So driver dot driver ID by driver ID and the rides dot city. So let's run this. Hopefully it will run. Battery is recharged. Let me connect my battery. Other connect. So you can see there is a error in mine. Okay, let me check what error I have. So you can see from is not valid. Valid position just for So we have taken the this over there. Okay. Why it is doing that? The reason I have given that over there will be there. So why? Let me check that what's the wrong with this. I think everything is right, but let's give a there's no second point. Hmm. Yeah, they can select. Why? Can you please guys comment what's wrong with this? Because I'm also select driver ID, right time. So what it do? Prompt is not a valid at this position except for log select table. What you would value? The syntax corresponding to this is something white. Okay, so the value. Now it's this time. Okay, the reason is I have given the comma over there, and that's the reason we are not getting answer. So you can see here, driver ID 1 New York, and the average rating is given. The user ID 1 Los Angeles, and 3.5 is the average rating. So what we have done, we get the driver ID, rider's right city, and average by using the average function over here to calculate the average of uh, uh, rating for that. So yeah, it is a pretty simple, and by grouping on those things, we get the our city also an average rating. So now we'll go for our third question. So create a SQL query to identify the customer register with the Gmail address from the user database. So what we'll do, we'll just go back to our console, and so I have created one more database called customer over here. In customer we have one column, so I'll just use that customer. Customer. See, activate that. Yeah, now we are into a customer, and we'll read all the column, all from customer. So you can see here we have name, customer ID, name, and the email address. So our question क्या है हमारा कि create a SQL query to identify customers registered with Gmail address from the user database. So we need to get who all are registered with Gmail only, not with Yahoo, Hotmail or Outlook. So we need to get only with Gmail. So जो Gmail से register किया है उनको हमें एक table बनाना. So we'll just write very simple question. Select and we'll write user ID. We need a user ID over there. We need a name. Do we have a user ID? No, we don't have a user ID. So we write customer ID. Customer ID. Then we have a name. Then we have an email. And from. So from we have a customer. And we just write where email like, and like जब यूज करते तो वी नीड टू राइट इनटू द परसेंटाइल व्हाट वी नीड जीमेल जो भी चाहिए हमें तो वो हम इसमें डालेंगे जीमेल एंड विल कंप्लीट दैट. सो लेट्स run this query. So you can see I'm not getting anything. The reason I'm not getting anything is where email like, yeah, I have solved the, what's wrong with this customer name, email from customer, yeah, and from customer table, and The thing is, I'm Gmail the spelling for the Guardian. I might Gmail. Now let's rerun that. Okay. Now, so छोटे mistake भी हमें कभी-कभी दिक्कत देती है. So you can see I'm getting all the name and the customer ID who's having a Gmail email address. So Alice, Charlie. So those are the things. Now, the second last question: what does database demonetization means? So basically, if you see, demonetization involves combining a table. So basically, what we did is same thing. So here you can see combining a two or more table is a demonetization, or it is one step of in, and adding a redundant data to improve the query performance. Basically, it faster your computation power, query power, while normalizing is focused on reducing redundancy. So demonetization is basically adding a redundant data to improve the query performance, while normalization focus on reducing redundance and ensuring the data integrity. Data integrity is nothing but security of data or purity of data. So that's the integrity. And demonetization can enhance read efficiency by reducing the need of complex load. As I mentioned, it reduces the complexion in database. Again, it converts the data to database into a single database, a huge database. But the complexity of computation power is reduced, and normalized design order and customer are in a separate table. If you see, एक normalized database में customer और एक जो order है वो अलग अलग इसमें होगी. Or denormalized design में order data includes the customer detail to quick fetch of order related info. So basically, take both the tables in a single database so that you can fetch very easily on a single database, single table. So yeah, we have that's the thing actually. What denormalization means. So basically, it is combining a table, adding a redundancy, so improve the query performance. While normalization means it just separate out the two tables in a different table. Okay, and because of denormalization, it reduces the complexity also. So now, last question: analyze the click-through conversion rate using the data from ad click and cap booking table. So we need to get the data which is click by, means if you can see the Facebook ads. आपने Facebook ad देखोगे और आप click करते हो, that's the click through, means एक conversation पे click किया and that's rating using the ad click and the cap booking table. So जिसमें भी click किया उसके बाद उसने cap book की या नहीं की, that's the thing we need to find out. So it is again little complex, not very complex, but little complex than any question. So we'll solve with a common table expression, and with, so first of all we need to get our use database. So for that I have created a database called click through, and you can check, let's use that database. Yeah, we are into a database now. I'll just go to the select all from click through conversion, because we are conversion rate कितना है उसका हमें वो चेक करना है exactly. So the thing is, what we are trying to do after clicking on ad, conversion rate कितना हुआ, click yeah, the spelling is right. What's the wrong with it? Okay, I just need to use the O over there. I just forgot that. Let's rerun that. Okay. Yeah, you can see this is my table, and कितने परसेंट लोगों ने वो क्लिक करने के बाद ये हुआ कन्वर्जन रेट हुआ, वो हमें चेक करना है. To get that thing, how can we write? So with I'll just write click spelling to be click and booking as you can see. I'll just write here select. So we need a column which is really important for our query. So the column is add ID has a add ID. We'll just take add ID. Then we have a count of what? Count of what? Distinct, 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 distinct what? Total key. So we'll just write total underscore clicks. Okay, and we write as a total click. We'll just write as a total click. Okay. Then we have count distinct, and in distinct we have the cab booking or total booking. We'll just write, because we are already getting a total booking, so you don't need to convert that. I'll just write it because the data is little different, because it is not raw data, it is already converted data. That's why just ignore that data set and try to focus on total booking. After getting that, from what? From our click to conversion. It is a big name, so make sure you are writing right. Now, after getting that, what we need to do? We need to do the left join. We don't need to do the left join here. We just need to complete this, and we are going to use the next thing is what we require. Here we'll just write select, and from select we'll just use all of the things like ID. I'll just copy this here. Then we need a total click. And we need a booking also. So for a booking, we just use total booking over here. After total booking, and in the total booking, we need to do the thing called. So I'll just use that total booking into, because we need to convert into what we need to convert into a conversion rate. So how the conversion rate works? We need to multiply by 0.1 and divide that by null if null or null if. I think so. It is null if, right? And we need to write over here a total click, comma. It should be in the it should be in the same thing. Now we need to complete that row as we'll write conversion rate that is already calculated. If you see, this is the calculated the result table is there. We have not called, we don't have that raw data, so ignore that one. Conversion rate over here. From we'll use this, not we need to give one different name here. Click. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, sorry, we need to use this one. Okay, before that I'll just use this, and we need to use this one. So let's run this. I know, because we are using that thing, that's why we are not getting the answer right now here. But if you see, this is the answer result column. So I have solved that. You can see I have solved that. But here you can see I cannot group by all those things. The reason is it already done here. I don't have a raw data. If I have a present raw data, then I might do the thing. But this is the right query for that. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned and see you in the next video.